I don't know about you guys, but I don't believe in coincidences.
The Stranger Things finale didn't just disappoint a lot of viewers, it made them feel as if what they had watched could not possibly be the real ending. Almost immediately after the final episode aired, a shared feeling took hold online that something about the finale was off. Too neat, too calm, too emotionally resolved for a story that had spent nearly a decade building fear, trauma and instability. Out of that discomfort came a theory that reclassified the ending itself as a lie. The theory is called Conformitygate, and it argues that the final episode of Stranger Things is not the true ending of the show at all. Instead, fans believe the finale shows a false reality, and that a secret episode 9 exists and will reveal the truth. According to the theory, both the characters and the audience are unknowingly trapped inside an illusion. The question Conformitygate raises is not just whether the ending was bad, but whether it was deliberately fake. Stranger Things was followed for almost a decade, which made the emotional reaction to its ending unusually intense. Many fans compared their disappointment to the backlash against Game of Thrones, but Conformitygate goes further than criticism. It reframes dissatisfaction as evidence. When viewers rewatched the series from episode 1 through to the finale, many felt that the writing quality dropped sharply in the final episodes. Some decline might be expected in a long-running show, but fans argue that the finale ignores major plot points that were previously treated as serious. The military threat disappears without explanation. Despite the scale of the upside-down invasion, Demogorgons are strangely absent. Hopper is reinstated as chief of police, even though he was presumed dead and attacks soldiers, which is almost certainly illegal. He also appears emotionally stable after the extreme trauma of losing Eleven, which feels inconsistent with how the show had previously handled psychological damage, especially for him losing Sarah. Instead of seeing these as mistakes, Conformitygate treats them as signs that the reality we're seeing is incomplete or artificial. The finale seems wrong, believers argue, because it is wrong on purpose. At the centre of this theory is Vecna. Fans believe Vecna ultimately won and placed everyone under a distorted illusion. In this reading, the happy ending is not closure but pacification. Hawkins looks healed, the kids graduate, relationships soften, and everyone moves on. But that's suspicious. The theory focuses heavily on Mike. During the final battle, Mike is knocked unconscious, and from that point on, everything shown is considered unreliable. Mike, who had long been the group's heart and emotional leader, seems passive and irrelevant, especially in Will's coming out scene. Any scene involving him afterwards is treated as part of Vecna's illusion, not as objective reality. Conformitygate thrives on details, especially visual clues. The graduation scene is one of the biggest focal points. All graduands wear bright orange gowns. Orange was uncommon for graduates in the 1980s, and fans associate the colour with warning and danger in the show, and more broadly with incarceration. Graduation, a moment meant to symbolise freedom, is reinterpreted as constraint. In wide shots of the ceremony, many people in the audience are seated, with their hands positioned in the same way. Fans say that this posture mirrors Henry Creel and how he stands, and how Billy and Will stood when under Vecna's control. Exactly 12 people in the crowd wear sunglasses, which fans connect to the 12 children that Vecna kidnapped. A man is shown in the ceremony while wearing a shirt that says Duffers, referring to the Duffer Brothers. The camera framing makes it appear as though he is filming the audience rather than the ceremony. Fans interpret this as a meta message that the viewers themselves are now part of the illusion. Exit signs are another major point. They appear prominently in the background of multiple epilogue scenes, behind Will during his date at the bar, near Max and Lucas at the movies, and behind Joyce and Hopper during their date at Enzo's. Exit signs are a normal thing in public spaces, but fans argue that earlier scenes in the same locations avoided emphasizing them. Their deliberate placement is compared to The Truman Show, which is about a man unknowingly living inside a fake reality. This comparison is reinforced by a Time magazine-style cast photo of Stranger Things, featuring the cast against a blue sky with clouds, which closely resembles The Truman Show poster and its ending, where Truman finds out the reality. Fans also catalogue visual glitches. A voltage meter changes colour from grey to red at WSQK, a merry-go-round at Holly's school shifts from yellow to grey, something that Holly explicitly points out. Mike suddenly appears with glasses and a haircut resembling Henry Creel. A blank sign appears in the graduation scene scene, which feels unusual for a show known for detailed production design. The spines of the Dungeons & Dragons books at the end appear to spell out X a lie, interpreted as Dimension X is a lie. Dialogue is treated in the same way. Lucas says he doesn't believe in coincidences, which fans read as a line aimed at the audience. Robin explains that Vecna's victims are unconscious and trapped in a trance, which fans interpret as commentary on viewers accepting the ending without questioning it. Robin then suggests that the group should just assume everything they experienced was real, which fans take as an intentional red flag. The theory also highlights missing or inconsistent characters and memories. Robin's girlfriend Vicky does not appear in the finale. Fans argue that Mike never knew about Vicky, so Vecna could not recreate her. Susie is also never mentioned again. Steve randomly becomes a baseball coach, which fans say Vecna would associate Steve with only because of his bat. Robin knows both Max's song and Holly's favourite song, which feels like a memory fabrication. How would she know that? Will mentions biking to Melvold's for milkshakes, even though Melvold's is a hardware store that only used to be a diner decades earlier in Henry Creel's timeline. The calmness of the epilogue itself is treated as evidence. There is little wind, minimal background noise, and static lighting. Earlier seasons used similar stillness to signal altered realities. Vecna's grandfather clock motif is notably absent where fans expect it, with some arguing that means the illusion is complete. Numbers play a huge role in why fans believe a secret episode is coming. The D&D campaign in Season 1 lasted 10 hours, which matches Season 5's total runtime. Will rolled a 7 in that campaign and the party lost. Will was missing for 7 days, 7 seconds passed between lightning strikes in Season 5, and the screen goes black for 7 seconds after Steve falls. The final credits also show a die landing on 7. January 7th is Orthodox Christmas. Netflix teased an announcement on January the 7th. A rotated 5 in a Netflix social post is also interpreted as pointing to 1 to 7. If a secret episode 9 exists, it would be episode 43, exactly 43 days after the season premiere. Fans also noticed that searching terms like fake ending, episode 9, or Conformitygate on Netflix returns only Stranger Things, which believers see as an Easter egg and skeptics see as an algorithmic coincidence, or part of Netflix clever marketing. Officially, there is no confirmation. The Duffer Brothers deny any deleted scenes or alternate endings. Ross Duffer has said there are no remaining cut scenes. Matt Duffer has said making multiple endings would be insane. Actor Randy Havens, who plays Mr. Clark, dismissed the theory publicly on social media. Netflix announced a behind-the-scenes documentary, One Last Adventure, framing the show as complete, and cast members posted definitive goodbye messages themselves. Unlike the Snyder Cut, there is no confirmed unused footage. Still, Conformitygate persists. Even skeptics argue it reflects how fans process endings. When an ending doesn't match years of emotional investment, it can feel easier to believe that the ending is not real than to accept that it didn't land. The theory turns disappointment into hope, confusion into purpose, and dissatisfaction into a shared project of meaning-making. If episode 9 appears, the Duffer Brothers would be seen as historic storytellers who engineered a massive fake-out. If it doesn't, Conformitygate still gave fans community, excitement, and agency during the hardest part of any long story, letting it go. The final question remains the same one fans keep asking each other. Is this mass denial caused by bad writing, or is there still hope? Do you believe?